Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. We're going to start it off with the NASDAQ. We had a very powerful morning gap up, and it's been a while since we've seen a gap up reverse quite like it did. However, it has happened before. You can even see in September it happened back here on September 3rd. So it does happen, but pretty big significant reversal. It was options expiration, so not totally surprising. The good news is that we still finished up. Bad news is it's technically churning with the higher volume. But as you can see overall, pretty good that we're going higher while working off overbought conditions in TSV, MACD. I'll throw up stochastics here in a bit. Russell 2000, same thing. As you can see, we're still working off those overbought conditions. NASDAQ 100, obviously similar to the NASDAQ. The standouts, though, S&P 500, they did not fill that gap up in the morning and close higher than where it opened. However, off the highs on higher volume, so still churning, but once again, working off the overbought conditions overall. So things are looking pretty good. Out there in the indexes for what we would like to see working off the overbought conditions. And now if we switch to my stochastics, you can see that we still need to be cautious because the NYSE, also a positive that we're moving higher, but it has rolled lower. So the chances that we could continue to sell off and not just keep moving higher is very significant here. And as you can see, same thing with the stochastics on the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000 has been steadily moving lower. So it's pretty good. We're working off overbought conditions, and overall most of our longs are holding up. However, we did have a few disappointments. The major one really, I guess, was Taser. Not the major one, excuse me, but disappointing relative to how nice the chart was. Taser is a disappointment. It's a 75% sell because we still technically have a gain, and even though the reason why we went long, part of the catalyst was the technical price action along with the fundamentals. This is just too negative of price action, and there's just too many other stocks out there with the potential to move higher that have better or more sound chart formations to invest in than to just stick around. So Taser 75% sell. And then GMCR, we got a good fill in the morning. However, it continued to sell off. So now it's another 50% sell with close below the 50-day moving average. If it closes below the low a day, of 137.53 on Friday, it's a full sell because there's now so much technical damage and the BOP is negatively red. We don't have much gain left that it'll just be time to take all of our capital out of this one. And the two disappointing ones, the first one is ANGO. ANGO, first off, whenever I was stalking it and got my very first signal in it, I was hopeful that it would continue to build out with max green BOP and then break out. That did not happen. As you can see, we lost that. And then after triggering an intraday sell stop here on the 17th, it reversed. BOP got stronger, volume was higher. We entered again, and that proved to be a prudent position because it subsequently rallied the next 2 days, giving us a kind of a weak ad signal. The only good news about it was that it was a pocket pivot point signal, and it closed at 1730, was above the intraday high of 1723 on the 19th. So it looked like it to be a good ad signal, and intraday at one point, it looked to be a wonderful ad signal. But the huge reversal off the intraday high and closing lower than where we opened on heavier volume and completely losing our green BOP, basically the catalyst for the trade is gone, so I'm exiting 2/3 of the position, 66% sell out of ANGO, and it'll have to fail on the rest. Going to move up my sell stops on ANGO, obviously, just in case it doesn't work. And then also Taser, same thing, moving up the sell stops too to break even on one of them, and then the other one will be with the low a day here. I was using this low, and then I think I might even have an emergency sell stop down here. Worst case scenario is it was working higher, but obviously it must be raised significantly. And then the other disappointment one was Tesla. We got a 5% long signal back here. Looked to be good. The only problem I had with it is that intraday I kind of expected to close at the high day. Still good. Wanted a pocket pivot point signal. Also didn't get it. Still, we got a good entry the next day, and then it was starting to work its way higher, but now it's closing below the 50-day moving average, giving us another sell signal. This one was a 25%er. This one's going to be a 50% sell signal. Stops also have to be raised on that. We did get two new long positions, though. NCPT, oh, excuse me, my bad. NCFT is giving signal off of support. Very nice move. It is a CanSlim quality stock. It's a recent IPO back in 2013. The move off the recent support here is coming on a surge of BOP and volume, and BOP went to max green BOP. We don't risk much if we're long. First stop can be at 1806, next one 1775, final one 1752. But the earnings have really picked up pace in the past 3 quarters, and earnings estimates for 2015 keep rising, and sales growth has been steady for over 8 quarters now, so this is a good one. And then, unfortunately, it didn't give the best signal, but EQM is giving us an add signal with the pocket pivot point breakout signal above the recent resistance. Got the surge in BOP that I like, but I really thought with as strong as BOP was and as tight as that price action was when I got it, I would get either max green or near max green. And also, I thought I would get price to close above where it opened. But it's closing at 91.13 after opening at 91.36, leaving just, a little bit of like, it's not as powerful as I'd like to see it doubt to the breakout, but still it's good. That'll be a 2% add. I would love for it to be a 5% add. You get max green BOP here and a high day close around 91.85. We're good to go for 5% add position, but as it is, just going to do 2% because the week close and it just isn't as strong as I'd like it to be. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your weekend. See you on Monday.